Shalom, we out here once again. Giving all praises to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakahakodash. So,
where do we begin? Where do we begin?
start with the merciful. Let's read it in the NLT. The point is 10, but I'm going to start at 8. See how it reads. This is Micah 2 and 8 in the NLT. It says, "Yet to this very hour, my people rise against me like an enemy. You steal the shirts right off the backs of those who trusted you, making them as ragged as men returning from battle. You have evicted women from their pleasant homes and forever stripped their children of all that God would give them. Up, be gone. This is no longer your land and home, for you have filled it with sin and ruined it completely." And that's America. You see? It's filled with sin and has been ruined completely. But that was ultimately the Lord's plan. America was set up just to chastise the people here on this sign. That was the whole purpose of America. That's why when the Lord destroys it, it's not going to be rebuilt again, because it served its purpose.
Here it is, we out here kicking the truth to Jake and giving them knowledge of self, but they don't appreciate it. They think that there's something better than this.
Like this shit is not it. America is a shithole for real.
Once
Yeah.
you realize that, that's when you let go of this.
Really.
That's when you let go of trying to better yourself or make yourself, something in this world, But what's the point?
Because as time goes on, as time progresses, things get worse here. Things aren't getting better in America.
I went to the grocery store, son. It's like $4 for a single mango that's organic.
See what I'm saying? A single mango is $4.
It's not even
There's
worth
no world in where that should be normal. Again, Micah 2 and 10 in the NLT, it says, "Up, be gone. This is no longer your land and home, for you have filled it with sin and ruined it completely. Suppose a prophet full of lies would say to you, 'I'll preach to you the joys of wine and alcohol.' That just the kind of prophet you would like."
Yeah, so in other words, you would probably like us if we told you like great things, like at least in your eyes, things that are great, whether it be like getting money or getting that new house so you and your family can live more comfortably, or you get a better paying job. Like that's the type of stuff that people wanted to hear, Like everything's about money. But here it is, we giving you like authenticity. We're giving you stuff that's gonna nourish you spiritually. And it's like people don't understand it. It goes over their head.
Because we're doing this to get a reward from the Lord. We don't want nothing from you. So why do we have the game by lying to you?
We come out here for free. We ain't looking for no money.
Right.
No handout.
This isn't a hustle. This isn't a gimmick. It's just the truth.
That's all we have is the truth.
This is Colossians 2 and 6 in the NLT. The header reads, "Freedom from rules and new life in Yahweh Shai Mashiach." This is Colossians 2 and 6 in the NLT. It says, "And now, just as you accepted Yahweh Shai Mashiach as your Lord, you must continue to follow him. Let your roots grow down into him, and let your lives be built on him. Then your faith will grow strong in the truth you were taught, and you will overflow with thankfulness. Don't let anyone capture you with empty philosophies and high-sounding nonsense that comes from human thinking and from spiritual powers of this world rather than from Yahweh Shai."
So for the most part, you go anywhere in this world, anywhere in this country, they're kicking you a bunch of nonsense. saying? Like, most people are airheads. Like, most people are stupid. That's just the reality of it. Like,
The people, they don't know how to think for themselves. Like everybody's really on here on autopilot. Like everybody just, there's a constant place you gotta be. You always gotta be somewhere. There's always something you gotta do. There's always a task you gotta do. There is no relaxation here in America. There is no taking your time. You see? And that's not life. That's not living. Again, Colossians 2:8, it says, don't let anyone capture you with empty philosophies and high-sounding nonsense that comes from human thinking and from the spiritual powers of this world. Again, you know, you go through we all went through the gauntlet. We go to grade school, middle school, high school, college, then you get your career, all of that. But that's not gonna fulfill you. That's not gonna satisfy you. And now, in the year of 2026, it's not even worth it.
what's the point of getting a degree when you're gonna get an immense amount of debt, and then you're gonna pay that debt off for the next 20 years?
And with the rise of this inflation, it's like you're playing catch up. You're never gonna get ahead. You're just playing catch up.
$4 for a mango, yo.
A singular mango. There's
You
no
don't
way.
even want to know what I paid for this drink.
A singular mango.
It's more than $4.
You shouldn't be living like this.
So at this point, things is gonna be wildly unstable. If it's not already. Because you know, some people are feeling it worse than others. You know, we have to acknowledge the fact that, you know, this is the combined increments era. You know, for the most part, people are living in the same houses, or like, you know, like, or they might get like a Section 8 program, and then they hit the lottery, and they wound up with like $800 rent for a studio apartment. You know what I'm saying? So it's really tough to survive out here. And then now you got so-called whites that are starting to feel that effect, and they feel like they missed out on everything. They missed out on the American dream, like, and they keep thinking that it's Jake's fault, like it's our fault that you missed out on your blessing. But how could that be? We never had access to wealth. We never had access to resources. And when we did come close to that, case in point, Black Wall Street, they hated on us and they burned it down. So they don't want us to be great over here.
Even Esau, you know, that's in the rundown town, you know, the poor Edomites. Even the concept of black and white people was meant for us to be their enemy, when really the top wicked elite, which are also Edomites, are really their enemy.
Because what? White represents purity, black represents negativity. So, you know, they gave us names and like labels.
Right.
So because you're white, that makes you better than the next man. And poor whites, what's the difference between poor whites and Jake and the hood?
Exactly, nothing.
But for some reason, they still think that they're better than Jake.
Right, the top wicked elite, it's all a play. They had to give you an enemy to be mad at and take the eyes off of them. So who they? Jake.
Lied and
Like
conquered.
we're not your enemy. We ain't got it just like you ain't got it. We getting taken advantage of just like you're getting taken advantage of.
And then here we got the damn gender war. You know, our own women are against us. You know, everything's about money and like finances. You know, they harp on that. But really, as a collective, as a community, as a society of quote unquote minorities, like we're all fucked up. We're not doing well financially. And that's just statistically.
Like even
So why even like harp on money?
Right.
Why even have that elitist mindset? Like, oh, he not making such and such of money. Oh, he can't afford this. He can't do that. I'm better than him. Da 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 da. These girls, they don't even want to do that's, you know, on the come up. They want to do that's like already built.
Right.
But for the vast majority of people, they don't got it like that. You know.
Cause this, like, even like you said, the gender war, it's just like, it's constant tension and conflict in America. There's no gender war in these other countries. This is all things that take place in America. America is just pain. Like, it's just hell here. Like, you can't have nothing the way you want it here in America. Colossians 2 and 9 in the NLT. It says, "For in Yahushua lives all the fullness of the Most High in a human body. So you also are complete through your union with Yahushua, who is the head over every ruler and authority." You see, us, like, I'm not speaking for you as well in this truth, we feel like we got everything we need. Like, everything else I count is extra. It's just a blessing from the Lord. Like, this is what's really gonna sustain, you know? This is always gonna be what it's gonna be. It ain't going nowhere. And it's only up from here.
Stands the test of time. That's what it's about, man. Like, anything that has longevity or that's like timeless, you know, you gotta appreciate that. That's what the truth is.
It says, "When you came to Yahushua, you were circumcised, but not by a physical procedure. Yahushua performed a spiritual circumcision, the cutting away of your sinful nature. For you were buried with Christ." So like it says, "For you were buried with Yahushua when you were baptized, and with him you were raised to new life, because you trusted the mighty power of the Most High, who raised Yahushua from the dead."
Yeah, because back then it's the same thing that we see going on today, where you got Jake that's lost, following other philosophies or whatever the case may be. Anything that has nothing to do with their heritage. So that's where Yahweh Shai came in. He made things straight. He laid it out, plain upon tables. He said, hey, you guys are the Israelites. Come back to your identity, nationality, repent, because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. You know? But you know, some Jake was complacent with living in the Roman Empire. You know, they thought that this is a vast empire, it's never gonna fall. This is as good as it gets. Like, we can't do nothing about this. You know what I mean?
You always gonna have those Jakes, you know? Like, even like these celebrities, like,
Yeah, like the Israelites back then that were living in like the hoods or the slums or the ghetto in Rome. It's the same motherfucking thing today. When you got Jake that's on the block, Jake that's hanging out on the Ave in front of the liquor store. No, they don't ever leave the block. You know, they think that this is forever. So it's the same thing, man.
Colossians 2 and 13. It says, "You were dead because of your sins, and because your sinful nature was not yet cut away. Then the Most High made you alive with Yahushua, for he forgave all your sins. He canceled the record of the charges against us and took it away by nailing it to the cross."
Yup. That was the significance of the Lord being sacrificed. He gave us another chance, essentially.
He said, "In this way, he disarmed the spiritual rulers and authorities. He shamed the publicly by his victor over them on the cross. So don't let anyone condemn you for what you eat or drink, or for not celebrating certain holidays or new moon ceremonies or Sabbaths. For the rulers are only shadows of the reality yet to come, and Yahushua himself is that reality."
Yep.
Don't let anyone condemn you by insisting on pious self-denial or the worship of angels, saying they have had visions about these things. Their sinful minds have made them proud, and they are not connected to Yahushua, the head of the body, for he holds the whole body together with its joints and ligaments, and it grows as the Most High nourishes it. And it's like, even in this faith, you know, you stay the course, you're gonna grow in the faith, you know.
Thanks.
It says, "You have died with Yahushua, and he has set you free from the spiritual powers of this world."
Yeah, that's how, I remember we were saying, like, that's how we feel, like, since we have, like, this knowledge, it's like we're we just feel like it's like a weight, like lifted off our shoulders. Like we don't have like the weight of this world.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
Like
like
imagine having to deal with like the everyday pressures and thinking that there's like no way out or that there's nothing better than this. You know? The fact that we have like the truth, it just gives us hope to continue. You
again,
know this shit is going down like this. The writing is on the wall, man.
real. Even like the vibration here in America, the spirit in this place is over. Again, Colossians 2:20 says, "You have died with Yahweh Shai, and He has set you free from the spiritual powers of this world." And it's not talking about a physical death, but more like, the mind, the mindset.
What did Malcolm X say? Free your minds, then your ass will follow.
It says, "So why do you keep on following the rules of the world, such as don't handle, don't taste, don't touch?"
So what are the rules? What are some of the rules of this world?
Well, really, like it's the construct of this world was preached to you from young. Like you gotta go to college, like you gotta make a living for yourself. And of course you gotta make a living. We're not saying that. But you're gonna go and be indoctrinated with Esau's wisdom, Esau's philosophy. That's really not gonna get you what you want,
And then
what
even
you're looking
before that,
for.
you had to go to the public school system.
Right.
And if your parents didn't send you off to school, then CPS will come, showing you that you really don't have control over your own kids. You're going to homeschool, and we probably got to have like certain certifications and stuff like that.
But even in America, who really got time? Who got the funds or the time to really homeschool their children? Like really?
And then you send them off to school, they end up being like corrupted because they're gonna be around a bunch of bad apples.
Especially if they in the hood, school in the hood.
Yeah. And then you can it's not like you can just send them off to a better school system because you got redlining. Certain neighborhoods you really can't live. You can't buy property at. You can't get. They won't approve of your mortgage.
Right. Like even in school, when I was younger, even now, like it's really just a place for your parents to send you while they go work.
Yep. While your father works nights or your mother works nights.
Right.
The other one works the days. See, like, you know what my other latest revelation is? And it's sad to say, but only foolish people have children.
Yeah.
Only either foolish people or ones that just made the mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Because having kids in this society, I mean, you're just relinquishing like your power.
Yeah.
What little power that you have. You know what I'm saying? What little control.
Because in a perfect world, like of course we want children. We'll have as many as the Lord will allow us to have. But in this setup, it just doesn't make any sense. It's a burden. It's a hindrance.
Hell, you can't even find a wife. Good luck with that.
Right.
It takes two to tango. So, what motivation do you have to start a family when you see how the women are moving? They don't even appreciate Jake. For years and years, Jake's been told like, "Oh, don't approach them." Women be like, "Don't approach them. You don't want to be approached by you." Blah, 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 blah. Unless you're like the top 10% of men, top 1% of men, you know. But for the most part, people are average. But the reason why people have like this overinflated ideology of themselves is because of this damn social media.
Right.
It makes them think that they're something more than what they are. It makes them have the illusion of options. You know what I'm saying? Like, I be like tuned in or watching. You know Blueface. He's like me but on steroids.
What you mean?
Like, he really be like saying what he wants to say to his woman. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah, I've been seeing videos like he just back. But he know it's like, bitch, you're not going nowhere. You gonna leave this? Like
He's like, bitch, you know I'm the best thing for you.
right.
You're cooked. You got 2 baby daddies. She's like, well, how would you like it if I try to branch you off and start having other men to doing my own thing? He's like, bitch, I would like to see you do that. I would gladly pack your bags and let you know that. And you know why she thinks that? Because of the social media.
Yeah.
She probably hops on the internet. She sees other women that are having other men, even though they got kids.
I mean, the social media got everybody, you know, thinking they're somebody. Everybody's fake important.
And they comparing their lives.
Yeah. You gotta now. It's like you got a platform to have a voice when you really shouldn't have one. Only people that should have anything to say is the prophets. That's it.
The prophets, or if we're talking about like in the world, or like according to history, it would be like the king,
Right.
or yeah, prophets, king. Am I missing something?
Nah. You got court jesters, you know, setting a precedent. And that's why shit is so fucked up.
Niggas think they're kings, but they really jesters.
For real.
Bunch of clowns. And then these women is a bunch of basically prostitutes. That's why they're over there wearing, revealing clothing on the internet.
It's the,
Tight ass skinny jeans with a cropped t-shirt.
it's like the thirst for attention, the thirst for validation. But again, that's just what women want. Like that just comes with women. But that's not gonna satisfy us. Like even as men, like here in America, like nothing we have here is satisfies. It's gonna satisfy you like the kingdom. And we really just taking what we can get at this point. 'Cause this ain't it. The last verse, Colossians
Oh, stop reading.
2:22. It says, "Such rulers are mere human teaching." So, like it says, such rules are mere human teachings about things that deteriorate as we use them. You see, and even like the philosophies here, it's deteriorated because the logic and the way you would move, say in the year 1998, it doesn't work now in 2026. You gotta update the software.
Like back then, you had a better chance of getting women.
Yeah.
Finding a wife or a significant other.
You know, you get
Because
how
it wasn't
was.
like so much, internet presence. Like there wasn't no social media.
All you had was who was around you. You wasn't, checking for a woman in a different state, and men weren't checking. You just checked. You was just dealing with what you had to deal with. Now women are getting attention from the men in their state and other states, and they just get into their head. It says, 23rd verse. These rules may seem wise because they require strong devotion, pious self-denial, and severe bodily discipline, but they provide no help in conquering a person's evil desires. You see, like all of this that you obtain here, it is what it is. Like it's good and dandy, but it doesn't satisfy the flesh. It's good for but a moment, and then now it's just another thing you have or another thing you do. We won't be satisfied until we're in the kingdom. Set on that. Let me go to Jeremiah.
That's what's still supposed to movies in 2026. I was having a conversation like that the other day. I was like, yo, you think people still smoke cigarettes? I mean, if you're old school, you do.
Yeah,
For the most part, people vape.
yeah, you made now.
That's one of the many problems with society.
I don't even understand vaping. Like, what do you get at it? It's like a following thing. Like, I don't get it.
Don't you know smoking causes cancer?
Vaping, hookah, like I don't understand it.
But that's like part of the culture. Vaping, going to hookah lounges. Like, that's what the girls really want to do nowadays.
Go to a seafood boil.
Like, all shit that's toxic.
Like Jake don't even know that they like down bad. Like they think they go to the hookah lounge, they can get a section, spend $300 on a bottle. Like this is heaven for them. They don't even know like this is how.
Got
like,
bottle bitches walking around.
Right.
They tight ass shorts, they tight ass shirt,
holding the signs up.
holding the
and shit.
signs up.
Like this is the niggatry. Like this is so beneath me. We gotta get the fuck out of here. Like yesterday, like bad. This is Jeremiah 51:7. I'll read it quick. Let's see how it reads in the NLT. It says, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, a cup that made the whole earth drunk. The nations drank Babylon's wine, and they drove them all mad. And that's the wine is the philosophies, the practices, the way of life. It got everybody corrupted. Everybody thinks, and it's like normalized. Like they don't even know that this isn't it. They don't know how in a bad case they are. But because it's so constant, it's what you always see, it's like it's normal. But this shit isn't normal.
Like we really normalize abnormal behavior in this society. That's why like America is like a trap. It's like fast food. Like this is some shit you really gotta escape and get away from.
I tell you, America was set up as a punishment. Because even if you are somebody that's getting money in America, you got money, you got the funds, you got the means, you could do so much better somewhere else, taking that money somewhere else.
Yep. Your money will go further.
You have a better quality of life.
And you'll be dealing with like people that are more like down to earth.
Right.
More genuine. You know what I'm saying? Like here in Babylon, everybody's just cutthroat, money hungry, out for self, operating out of distress, or in survival mode. Right? So it's like we supposed to build with people like that? We supposed to connect with people like that? Hell no. Keep people like that far away from me. I only surround myself with people that are dealing with abundance, that are having it. And it don't even gotta be necessarily like monetarily, you know? You gotta be like spiritual. You know, because that's where it starts. It starts in the spirit. Rich in faith. Like I said before, a lot of these people, they lost. It's sad.
I tell you, everybody's just getting by here. Like, nobody's really having fun. Nobody's really enjoying themselves.
But motherfuckers is institutionalized. They embracing the grinds.
Right.
They think working 40, 50, 60 hours a week is normal. Barely having any self-care time, you know? That's normal. Working one shift, man. I got a second job, man. I haven't been able to get my hair done in months.
You gotta take a day off to get your hair done, that type shit.
Yeah, like probably not even showering every day neither.
Jeremiah 51:7 in the NLT. It says, Babylon has been the golden cup in the Lord's hand, a cup that made the whole earth drunk, and the nations drunk Babylon's wine. And America is a cancer on the whole earth because you have other nations, other countries that bought into this philosophy. And it's destroying that nation now. See?
Yeah, like other nations, they get involved with like the dollar, taking on like the debt.
Even down to the simple like fast food in these other countries. McDonald's. Shit like that. The philosophy.
But the fast food is actually better in other countries.
It is. I've heard it.
Like McDonald's here, and let's say like Japan, it's two different things. It's better.
It's just there's a vibration and a spirit that
Like-
the Lord put on America.
Like ingredients that they allow in the food here, they don't allow in other countries. So that's why the food is like it's not helping us, it's hurting us. Well, depending on what you eat. You know, we really eating like the best of the worst. Like even if you do try to go the positive route, try to buy organic, it's like, can you really trust that? Did you grow it yourself? You're still breathing in toxic air. So that's countering what you're eating in a way, or in a sense.
You eating late at night after you done got out of work. Like, this shit ain't it, bro.
The food's just sitting in your stomach.
Shit ain't it.
You're working a damn night shift, you getting hungry, you gotta eat during your night shift. The only thing that's open is Wendy's.
Bullshit. 8th verse, Jeremiah 51 in it. It says, but suddenly, Babylon too has fallen. Weep for her, give her medicine. Perhaps she can yet be healed. We would have helped her if we could, but nothing can save her now.
So that's like a rhetorical statement. Like, yeah, we would have helped you if we could, but we can't.
So we would have helped her if we could, but nothing can save her now.
Because there's no hope. I mean, this is a system that's based off of fraud, deceit, robbery. So anything like that is like down to not last. That's why we see the society crumbling. That's why we see people's morals at an all-time low. People are depressed. People are sad, and they may not even realize it. They think that this is normal.
You could be a demon. You could be the biggest demon walking the planet Earth. As long as you got money, people are gonna want to be with you. People are gonna want to be around you. People are gonna want your attention. And that's what it's about. People are struggling. People need help. People are willing to put up and sustain with whatever. But this is hell.
Positivity don't pay.
Right. It's looked at as boring on this side.
You know what else is sad? Like, you would have to convince a so-called black woman to date the Jake that's not a drug dealer, that's not a scammer, that doesn't have tattoos. You know, you would have to convince that woman to date that. But no, they want the drug dealers, they want the scammers. Because it's fun to them.
They're not looking for love. They're looking for a good time. And they get the funds, you see? It all comes down to the dollar.
You can't even just be like your authentic self and like be like accepted by your own counterparts. You know what I'm saying? You gotta portray yourself as something that you're really not, you know? Or something that's like bad for you. You know what I mean?
Again, Jeremiah 51:9. It says, we would have helped her if we could, but nothing can save her now. Let her go. Abandon her. Return now to your own land, for her punishment reaches to the heavens. It is so great it cannot be measured. That's it. That's the point. But again, though, abandon her. Abandon this, not literally, leave physically, but mentally. Take the shackles off your mind. Because this is not scheduled for us. Like, there's so much better. There's a better life out there for us that the Lord is going to give us.
This place is destined for sooner the better, man. Sooner the better.
Let's go to 2 Thessalonians.
After that, I got
You can try.
Ecclesiastes keys 7 and 7.
This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. I'll go back to the KJV. It says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
So once you have your third eye opened and you see this world for what it is, it could weigh your spirit down. You know what I'm saying? You see how everything is just against you. The whole world's against you. And that could make you feel sad. Like, damn, we oppressed. And shit we can do to stop this. You just gotta deal with it.
And it frustrates you because you know what's going on. But the people around you, they think this is just how it's supposed to be. Like, they don't see nothing wrong with this. And that's where it, like, really makes you frustrated. Again, Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. The 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Start at the 7th verse. It's reading the NLT. It says, For this lawlessness is already at work secretly, and it will remain secret until the one who is holding it back step out the way. Then the man of lawlessness will be revealed, but the Lord Yahushua will slay him with the breath of his mouth and destroy him by the splendor of his coming. This man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and mercies. And you see, counterfeit power, it's not real. It's only the power that the Lord gave him. So now that Yahushua is coming back to take the power back, Esau Edom will be powerless. It says this man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles. He will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction, because they refuse to love and accept the truth that would save them. You see, they want to hear the nonsense. They want the lies. They want the garbage. You see? It's all deception at the end of the day. Esau Edom will tell you what you want just for you to perform his will, and rather than the Lord's will. It says, so God will cause them to be greatly deceived, and they will believe these lies. Then they will be condemned for enjoying evil rather than believing the truth. That's it on that. That was the point.
Now the scripture. Psalm 75 and 5. Lift not up your horn on high. Speak not with a stiff neck. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But Yahweh is a judge. He put us down one and set us up another. So this power that Esau has is really just temporary. You know? He's getting ready to just take it away. Because here it is, you the rulers of this world. And look how people is living. Like, you're not doing nothing positive with your rulership. You're just oppressing the people. That's it.
It's Isaiah 20:99 in KJV. It says, stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out, and cry they are drunken, but not with wine they stagger, but not with strong drink. For the Lord Yahweh hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, hath he covered, and the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed. And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. He saith, I am not learned. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me.
So they're hypocrites. They be like, yo, I love God, I love Jesus. But what do you even know about the scriptures?
Right. But, you know, the lies they was told in the Christian church, or in the Roman Catholic church.
Here it is, you'll have a chick or a dude that'll be like, yeah, I'm a Christian, I'm this, I'm that. But they down with that Mo agenda.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they all with that. And they combine the black struggle with the LGB, whatever the fuck it's called, community struggle. They think it's all one and the same.
Right. That's the thing with, like, these religions. Like, they don't really take a stand, because it's all about the members and getting people to, you know, buy in. You want to give them a smooth, soft message. You can't really stand on nothing. just all inclusive. That go along to get along spirit. Again, Isaiah 29 and 13. It says, "Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear towards me is taught by the precept of men.
Right.
Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. They say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us? Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the things framed say to him that framed it, he had no understanding?" That's the point.
Most time makes people who they are.
Go to Romans chapter 8, verse 20. It says, "For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who has subjected the same in hope." So the things that you see, like people wanting to live this certain lifestyle here in America, and just doing all manners of wickedness, it's in their spirit to do that. Like, that's just what people naturally want to do. They want to satisfy their flesh. But once you understand this knowledge and you're blessed with this knowledge, you want to do right to serve the Lord. You want to do your best to be right in the eyes of the Lord rather than the eyes of the people here.
Like, a case in point is, the scriptures speak about the token of a woman's virginity. That's really like our value right there. Like, once that's out the window, once they don't have that no more, it's like, what are they?
But on this side, if you say that to a woman or to people, they look at that as you looking down on the woman or as oppression. But really, that's love. You see, a woman that has her virginity, she is held in a higher regard than a woman who doesn't. It's just the truth. She gets looked at in a certain light.
And society pushes people to date. And that's the problem. That's why you can't pair bonds with somebody that you're dealing with. It's because she got a bunch of different dual spirits on. She doesn't value your natural ways, or your intrinsic nature, you know what I'm saying, or your character. What they value is the money that you have, or the experiences that you provide for them. Right. They already know that they cooked. They already know that they got bodies after bodies. You know what I'm saying? Right. But again, that's normalized in the society. And you wonder why, like, the conditions within the dating world is like so messed up. You know? Society pushes that women, they don't really need men, they can do their own thing. And if that's the case, bitch, we live in a woman liberation era. So why don't you get your own money?
Right.
You know?
Nah, because they want to be modern women, but they want you to be the traditional man that still pays for everything, while they get to live the life, whatever life they want to live. It's like you have to hold up your end of the deal, but they don't have to hold up theirs. And that ain't right.
Anybody with common sense or logic, they wouldn't want no parts of that.
You said that.
And that's why a lot of dudes, they going overseas to find a wife or a woman. Because they know that it's damn near impossible to do it here. You gotta be a super nigga. You gotta be 6 feet, perfect teeth, full head of hair, certain amount of money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that man doesn't exist. There's no such thing as the perfect man, you know?
or you can cop out and deal with a hood bitch or a fatty, overweight woman. You know what I'm saying? Well, who really wants that?
Yeah. That's why women, they looking for the perfect man that doesn't exist. That's why they just have a handful of men that just give them certain things to, you know, what one man lacks, this man might have. And that's why they just deal with multiple men.
But you know what's sad? Becky appreciates Shake more.
Yeah, facts. This is Jeremiah 3 and 5. It's like it's Jeremiah 3 and 3. It says, they said, if a man put away his wife and she go from him and become another man's, shall he return unto her again?
Where you at?
Jeremiah chapter 3. It says, shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again to me, saith the Lord.
So this is like, it's like twofold. So spiritually, you've committed adultery against the Most High by worshiping other gods. But yet, the Most High, He took us back. But it's like women in this world, they do the same thing. They jump from man to man, and a dude still has no choice but to deal with that if he wants to deal with a woman. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not running into a virgin.
Especially if you're like up there in age, or you in your 20s, good luck trying to find a virgin in America. Good luck. In Jeremiah, it says, and this is just 2 men it's talking about greatly polluted. Any woman that you run into has been with more than 2 men. Like,
Once they go over one, then they done.
yeah, like that whole body count conversation, like it
No
really
body
don't.
count.
It don't matter. It don't matter because if it's not 0, then that's the only number that matters is 0. Back to Romans. This is Romans 8 and what was that? Yeah, Romans 8 and 20. It says, for the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope. Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of the Most High. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit. Even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit the redemption of our body. And we can't wait for that day. Like, we wait on that day. We're tired of having ailments, body, physical ailments, getting sick, back pain. You see, can't even sleep comfortably, waking up to alarm clocks. Like, we're tired of living like this.
And it can be like even mental too, like stuff that don't sit right with you. Keep harping back on the past. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But there's gonna come a day where like all the bullshit that you had to deal with or endure, like it's not even gonna matter. It's not even gonna matter someday. Like, you're gonna be so beyond that.
Romans 8:24 says, for we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doeth he yet hope for? But if we hope for that we see not, then we then do we with patience wait for it. Let's sit on that. Let's go to Isaiah 14. Let's start at the top. There's Isaiah 14:1. It says, "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob."
So we're gonna get our land back. All the Israelites, they're gonna have access to the land. You know what I'm saying? You try to go over there now, they're gonna look at you sideways. Like, what the fuck you doing here, nigga?
You know, we're going to be sovereign when Yahushua returns and places us back into our homeland. You see, there's not going to be anybody telling Israelites what to do. Israelites will set the standard. This truck running.
Like the fuels. Why is he bumped? Keep it moving.
Isaiah 14:2 says, "And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord, for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve." And again, this is hard bondage. I don't care what nobody says. Yeah, we're not being whipped in the back, by whips and shit, but this is a different type of, hell, a different type of slavery.
Yep. All your money gotta go towards bills. Trading your time for money.
Because if it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased the... So let me read it again. Isaiah 14:4. It says that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked, and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hinder it. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. That's the point. That's it.
This is Haggai 1:6. You have sown much, bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none more. He that earned his wages to put it into bags for holes. So that's just society in a nutshell. Put in so much, you don't even get much back. And once people catch on to that fact, they're gonna be like, yo, what's the point of this? Like, why are we still there? They're gonna just flee back to their homeland, go back to their country.
That's all America really is. Like, especially if you're somebody from another country, you're not born here. You just come here, get your money, go home, go to work, go home, go to work, stack your coin, and go back to your country.
So, but what keeps you like attached here is when you start having children.
Yup. Family.
Yeah.
I was watching a video that Elder Apostle Gabar was doing with this Jake. I guess he's like a passport bro.
Yeah, the guy from Jersey, right?
Yeah. He was like talking about how he used to live abroad, and then he came back. He moved back to America because he missed his family and shit like that. But it's like, is that really worth it? Especially with the inventions of the day, like to come back for what? Like, you're a grown man. I understand, having a family and all that, but America ain't nothing to come back to. Like once you get out, you should try and stay out. Like you've been afforded a luxury. Like, you're blessed. Not there's people that want to leave, but they can't. Like they don't have the means to do so.
That dude, he got motion on the internet. He got a YouTube channel.
Yeah, he got the whole
makes money on it.
exactly. He got the whole infrastructure that you need to be successful in that.
He get that YouTube money.
Yeah.
And that goes a long way, like when you start living abroad.
Exactly. He said for his apartment, internet, and everything, he pays $700 a month.
Because when I tell people, or when I ask them, like, how come you don't just move back to your country, live in your country? They be like, yeah, it sounds good in theory, but what am I going to do for money?
Yeah.
That's what they always say.
You're gonna be working at a hotel, working with
There's
around the
barely
tourists.
jobs overseas. The whole point of America is to come here and make money, but they got jobs. Even the jobs is dwindling. There's nobody hiring. You see old people working at McDonald's. That's supposed to be like a job for people in high school
Right.
or in college.
This is Luke.
Now you got a room. You gotta get a roommate.
Yo,
Cause you ain't making shit at the job.
how it is, bro. People, like the squeeze is on so tight. Like people just need some relief. Like that's all people really want is some relief. It's like like in America, there's always somewhere you gotta be by a certain time. There's something you gotta do. You gotta do this. You gotta get this done. Really, like no time for relaxation.
Their relief is sniffing cocaine, doing drugs,
Yeah, getting high,
liquor,
drinking. Yeah, you need a
pouring
escape.
into their family. Seeing their kids happy makes them happy. A reason for more than just themselves to continue.
You need an escape. And it's not even just only an escape from your mind, but it's an escape from your conditions and where you're at, and what you're going through.
They say coke is the new crack. I didn't know that.
I know they were doing coke like that.
You ever heard of Tommy G on YouTube? But he's like, he does like documentaries and stuff like that. So he was interviewing drug dealers, and I'm learning about like like the game, because I'm not in that world obviously. They saying that there's still money to be made in that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, because people need an escape, and people will pay whatever for it. They'll give their last to escape this shit.
There's still demands.
Yeah.
Large enough to where you can actually do well for yourself.
And that's like some of the oldest profession, drugs, alcohol, women. That shit ain't going nowhere. It's gonna always be for sale. There's gonna always be people looking for it.
Especially tent jobs.
Right. This is Luke 21 and 34. I'm gonna read it in the NIV. It says, "Be careful, or your hearts will be weighed down with carousing, drunkenness, and the anxieties of life."
Exactly. So you're gonna always want to be inebriated, so you can escape reality. But you don't want to fall into that trap, man.
And that day will close on you suddenly like a trap, for it will come on all those who live on the face of the whole earth.
Because it happens quick.
Be always on the watch, and pray that you may be able to escape all that is about to happen, and that you may be able to stand before the Son of Man. Every day Yahushua was teaching at the temple, and each evening he went out to spend the night on the hill called the Mount of Olives. And all the people came early in the morning to hear him at the temple. That was before.
Let me wrap it up.
One more?
What I mean about being a toxic air?
Yeah,
Like cars is like horrible for certain areas, there's some traces of lead in it. You know, lead is not good for the brain. It's not good for the body. So really, capitalism and the industrialization of this world, it's toxic.
This is Colossians chapter 3, verse 1. It says, if ye then be risen with Yahushua, seek those things which are above, where Yahushua sitteth on the right hand of the Most High. Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Yahushua in the Most High. When Yahushua, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory.